Hello, happy New Year's. I'm a little under the weather, so I stayed home today. How you doing? What do you people do all day? I'm like going stir crazy. I've been up since early. The day that I meet somebody and they say, "Baby girl, you ain't gotta work no more, baby girl. You stay your ass at home. I will support you." What the hell am I going to do with myself? I don't know. I don't know, but I think I'm going to stay working if that ever happens. Happy New Year. How y'all doing? I stayed home. I have this migraine headache for days and I have sensitivity to light and it's just it hurts me so much. I just wanted to go live. Didn't want to say talk about what I just want to talk about anything, but I want to talk about something, but I didn't want to put on the title. I just wanted to go live organically. I didn't want to put any mommies' names in the titles. I just wanted to chat since I haven't been able to talk to you, and I have time. I have time today because we're home. We're home from school. Okay, I feel like I'm playing hooky, and I haven't had a day off in months, and I finally get a day off, and it feels like a fucking freaking flipping eternity. Okay. I'm still working on the cussing. I'm just gonna talk. If anybody's in here, they can be in here. If they're not, hi, hello. You don't have to talk. Just listen. I just need to dump all this information out. I just need somebody to hear. Okay? I just need somebody to hear. All right, so I'm gonna try to ease back into which I haven't done in a long time. I used to get my little early birds in the morning. I used to go live every single morning before going to work before I started this job. That was like 2 years ago. I used to go live every fucking morning and just talk about whatever life lessons, shit that I was learning. I've been going through this healing journey for a long ass time, and we're finally at the final stretch. Like the where I'm supposed to be, I'm like right fucking there. Ugh, flipping, right, flipping there. Sorry, I'm trying to stop cussing. I really am. Right, flipping there. Okay. And I cannot wait. Okay, so anyways, what I wanted to talk about is the what people say about adoption, okay? Everybody's adoption story is different, but what grinds my gears, okay? What is like nails on the chalkboard is when people say my children were taken from me. Okay? When people say their children were taken from them, were taken right from under them, that it just all of a sudden, just one day, the slowest working government agency is CPS, Child Protective Services. They are so slow in their processing everything. And when a child is taken away in the state of Texas, I don't know how it works where you're at. Okay. I don't know. The way it works here, Child Protective Services, when your child there's a report. Let's just start from the beginning, okay? Let's just start from the beginning. Somebody calls CPS on you, okay? You as a parent, you have rights. Don't think that you don't have rights. You do have rights, okay? Those are your children, okay? If somebody calls CPS, it says your kid is getting beaten or whatever, okay? Or is being starved. We'll say whatever they're saying about Liv's parenting, okay? She's starving her baby, and she's abusing him. Okay. The first thing they're going to do is when you call that number, is they're going to make the report, click, 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 click into the computer, right? And they're going to call in the very first person that's going to meet you and call you and go to your house is the investigator. Okay. That is the first person you're going to meet is the investigator. Sometimes they'll call and say, "Hey, I got to go over. You beating your child or what the fuck?" Sometimes they just pop in. Sometimes they go to the school. It just depends who calls. If it's a school that calls, they'll go to the school, interview the people there, and they'll get the information, and then they'll come and they'll hunt you down, right? Okay. So that first person makes or breaks your case. Okay. Those are the people that go and they inspect the house. So with Liv going off on that lady, and I said I didn't want to mention any names, okay? I said I did not want to mention any names, but sorry, okay? So that woman was only an investigator. She wasn't even like the person that was the CPS worker. That's the person that's going to determine whether or not to open the case or not. So her going off on somebody was not the brightest idea. But then again, we're talking about Liv. Hello, how you doing? I'm doing good. And yeah, so her going off on that lady, stupid. Please don't do that. Now, you do have a right as a citizen of the US to not open the door. You don't have to open the door, but again, pick and choose your battles. Um, you don't have to let them in. They don't have a warrant or anything like that. So you technically don't have to let them in. But if you have nothing to hide, let them in because they will go down there and get signatures and they will knock down your door. Pick and choose your battles, people. Okay. So if that person comes to your house, they take pictures of your home, they look at the cabinets. If they're saying you're starving your kids, they're going to see if you have food in the cabinets. They're going to take pictures because they need that evidence. If they're saying that your children are being beat, they have to take pictures of your children to prove that there are no bruises. It's not because they're being freaky or whatever Liv says. No, they have to go to the board because they're going to have a meeting about it, and that's when they're going to determine whether or not to open a case. If they can say, look, the kid has no bruises and look at all this food up in her house. He seems healthy. We don't need to open a case. But no, her being crazy, red flag. She's hiding something, right? So once you do that, the next person you're going to come up, like let's say they're going to say, yes, let's go ahead and open this case. Everybody keeps on complaining about her, and she has lost 3 previous children. She's lost custody of them, not through CPS but through court. Okay. So then the next person is going to be your CPS worker. You're no longer going to see that investigator from the beginning. You're not going to see them anymore. And depending if you have a safety plan with family, then you'll have a kinship, also CPS worker as well that will pop in. That's what mine was. Mine was a kinship. Okay. So when people say, oh my God, they took my kids, I don't know what to do. Bitch, you had a long ass. Sorry, there you go, Kessie again. You had a long ass time not to lose your kids. It took me 2.5 years for me to adopt my son because first they will give CPS gives the rights or give it takes them a long time to lose their custody, permanent custody. It takes a lot. It takes 2 years of non-compliance, 2 years of you not doing what CPS asks you to do. So I could not adopt my son until he was free to adopt, until, AKA, also known as the parents not complying. Okay. The parents didn't do anything for 2 years. 2 years. We went to court or meetings every like 6 months, every couple months, every, visitation. She had visitation. She never showed. Like, so it's not like I just went from right behind her and just adopted. You can't adopt a kid that has a parent. You can't. They have the parental rights have to be terminated in order for a child to be up for adoption. So when people say they've just lost their kid because oh my God, CPS just came right from under me. Okay, and what were you doing those whole 2 years and all those chances that they gave you to get your shit together? So don't come at me that I fucking kidnapped your kid because I too have a baby mother. The baby mother likes to say that I kidnapped her kid and that I stole her kid. Bitch, what were you doing for those 2 years? I kept every fucking appointment. Every time this heifer wanted to beat up, I did not do nothing directly. She was a Liv. She was exactly like Liv, and I think that's why I'm triggered. I think that's why I'm triggered. So we will go to a center. We will go to a meeting place so that and mind you, I'm a full-time employee somewhere for somebody, and I had a whole other kid that was going through teenage stuff, and yeah, and I still made it happen. Okay. So when people try to say that they had their kids just taken from under them, that's a fucking lie. That is a lie, and that just grinds my gears. And not everybody gets adopted. Some people, some parents do get their shit together and do regain custody and do everything they're required to do to get their children back. I know lots of people who have gotten their children back or who have been taken away from their children temporarily. It takes you as a parent to comply. And trust me, I went through the same shit too. Just because I was going to adopt him, he was placed with me, doesn't mean they weren't checking on me. They treat you just the same. Just even though I was the helping hand here, they still checked up on me. And if you don't comply with the drug test, that's a big deal. And they come with drug tests in tow in their truck. If you're being accused of being high all the time or whatever, that investigator will show up and give you a drug test right then and there. You don't have to go to a center or anything like that. So I went through the same thing as the parent did, even though I wasn't the one that was at fault here. I was the one that was helping. I was the place for him to live, for my son to live. So that's one thing that I really hate, because a lot of parents like to act like the victim. Like if they didn't do anything, oh, somebody called CPS, somebody called CPS, I'll be okay. And obviously they found something wrong, obviously, and Liv can't be upset at these people for doing their job. They have to go, because the one day there isn't. And years before I adopted my son, there was a little boy within my married family. I was quote unquote married. Um, and with my in-laws family, there was a child that was being abused. Okay. And I made sure that that stopped, because that little boy was being tortured every single day for 2 years. And nobody who knew said anything. Nobody said anything. That little boy would have died. He would have been like Gabriel Fernandez if I had not stepped in and did something about it. Everybody was talking shit that they're going to go and do something about it. Who was the only motherfucker there at the court? Me. It was me. I was the only one there. This poor little, he was like 6 or 7 years old. And these people were like tying him up, like fucking crazy ass people, all fucking cracked out and shit. Like, people are sick. And then you wonder why, there's something such as CPS. Yes, some people do. I don't believe in calling CPS if there's not a reason to call CPS, because they're already stretched thin. These women have so many people on their workload, like it's impossible. I don't know how they keep up with it, but they do, and they're angels. Teachers and CPS workers have my heart all the time, because they work so freaking hard, and it's a thankless job. All they do is get bitched at by people like Liv. You know. Anyways, so that was my little vent sesh for the day. Um, and I feel better. I feel better now that I've said what's all been going on. When people say that, it just pisses me off. Like, you don't even know how the system works for you to say that. Like, you had to been doing something wrong. And what were you get 2 years to get your shit together. You can extend as long as you want, even though you're not even trying, which is what my baby mama did. She was extending, and the bitch never had no intent to change or do anything different. She was not even compliant. She was so up to the same shit. All right, I will go now. Thank y'all for listening. Goodbye.